let's discuss reproduction in plant. In this context, we are going to discuss about pollination, types of pollination, fertilization and its process, and seed dispersal. Pollination. What is pollination? Pollination is the process of transferring of pollen grains from the male anther of the flower to the female stigma. The goal of every living organisms, including plants, is to create offspring for the next generation. One of the ways that plant can produce offspring is by making seeds. Types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination. Self-pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grain from the male anther to the female stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant. For example, wheat, barley, oats, rice, tomato, potato, apricot, peaches. Cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grain from the male anther of one flower to the female stigma of another flower on different individual plants of the same species. For example, apple, pumpkin, daffodil, grass, maple trees, etc. Cross-pollination is better than the self-pollination. Cross-pollination is advantageous because it allows for diversity in the species as the genetic information of different plants are combined, while self-pollination leads to more uniform progeny, means that the young species is, for example, less resistant one as the whole to disease. Fertilization. Fertilization is the process of sexual reproduction in a plant which occurs after pollination and germination. Fertilization can be defined as the fusion of male gametes, that is the pollen, with the female gametes, that is ovum, to form a diploid zygote. Process of fertilization. In fertilization process, flowers play a significant role as they are reproductive structures of angiosperms, that is the flowering plants. The method of fertilization in the plants occurs when the gametes in the haploid condition to produce zygote. In the process of fertilization, male gametes get transferred into the female reproductive organs through pollinators like honeybee, bird, bat, butterfly, flower beetle. In flower, the pollen grain germinates after pollinations of the carpel and grows into the style by creating the pathway for the pollen grains to move down to the ovary. The pollen tube breaks into the ovules through the microfields and bursts into the embryo sac. Hence, the male nucleus fuses with the nucleus of an egg inside the ovule, forming a diploid zygote, which later swells up and develops into the fruits. This is the structures of fertilization. Seed dispersal. The transformation of seeds into the parent plants of different places is called seed dispersal. Seed dispersal allows growth of the same kinds of plants in different regions. Seed dispersion is helpful because it minimizes the competitions of food, sunlight, water, and minerals among the plants of the same kind in the same area. It also allows them to grow in different habitats. Types of seed dispersal. Seed dispersal by wind, seed dispersal by water, seed dispersal by animal, seed dispersal by bird, and seed dispersion by exploding seed. Seed dispersion by the wind. The wind is a natural and fundamental means of seed dispersal. This process of seed dispersal is mainly seen in those plants which bear very light seeds, for example, orchids, dahlia, swan plant, cottonwood tree, hornbeam, etc. Seed dispersal by water. In this method of seed dispersal, seed floats away from their parent plant. These are mainly seen in those plants which lives in water or nearby the water, beaches, ponds, lakes. Example of seed dispersal by water are coconut, water lily, watermelon. Seed dispersal by animals and birds. There are different ways in which animals and birds disperse the seeds. Few animals and birds are attracted to bright, colorful fruits. They eat the entire fruits and only juicy part is digested by their system, and the seeds are excreted out in the form of their dropping, which form into the plants. For example, blackberry, cherry, potato, apple seeds, etc. Seed dispersal by explosions. Explosion in fruit literally refers to bursting with all its energy. In this case, as the fruit gets ripples into the external environment, this type of the seed dispersal is mainly seen in those plants having pods. For example, okra, gorse, pea, beans, etc.